welcome to the show. It's Tuesday on Your View. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hello.
It's a brand new month.
It's a new month, that's true.
Yes, it's June.
Yeah.
I'm good. So
June is the 6th month, right?
Yes. At the end of this month, we'll be at the middle of the year. Yeah. Yesterday, I had a Facebook and Instagram live session. It was really fun. I did like a goal-setting crash course for people. We tend to set our goals every year, but like we don't go over it and break it down into smaller chunks that we can achieve. So I just sort of reminded people to set their goals for the month of June. And this doesn't happen to me every month, but this month I just felt I did this program, Salt Online with Jumoke Adenowo, and it's very, very spiritually like, we're the salt of the earth, you should connect with your purpose, all those kind of good reminder. And I've been feeling very, very connected in my spirit. So
we can feel that.
That was how I was now praying ahead for the month. And, you know, a word dropped in my spirit that this is a month of opportunities, that when many others are seeing, feeling, and lamenting about challenges, those that believe would see the opportunities amidst all the challenges we're facing. And for me, that's what I want to see. That's what I want everybody around me to see, opportunity.
Awesome. Awesome. He's informing us so that we can be
so we'll tap into those things quickly.
Yes, yeah. I'm sure we get good. Well done, well done.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Obia Jolo?
I'm doing amazing. So yesterday I had to sort out the books for the remaining part of the year for my book club, BC and Brains book club. And I realized that we've been doing a lot of foreign books. Some of the members of the book club are abroad. So even if I say, let's take Nigerian books, they may not be able to get it since some of our authors do not have e-copies. No, they have
Okada books.
Okada books, we can get Nigerian books there. So I'm looking to what 2021 is almost gone. So by next year, we're going to be doing strictly Nigerian books. So let's enjoy our Oyibo books for now and everything. But the Oyibo books actually have helped. The businesses I started today, I learned from those books. So, but I want us to get connected to
many
Nigerian stories. I know.
Yeah,
I know.
But the soft copy might be the challenge. But hard copy,
they can get it.
Stories that many books.
See, I'm doing my master's in Pan-Atlantic University, and it's so relatable. Like the content is so Nigerian. Yeah. And I know somebody in my class who's done an international master's, and she's like, it's nothing like this. It's two different worlds. Yes,
it depends.
You get the same, techniques are different, but because the examples they use, they tell you the products you see, how it grew, what the challenges they had, the Nigerian story, or how the challenges, how they were able to beat the markets, all the various channels across
like when I read books on real estate, it's different.
So you do an international MBA, great, but you now come home to start a business.
Then you
have to watch challenges and what's going to happen. So
but that's why you should apply the knowledge you've gotten, that application. So if you know how to apply,
it's different in this country.
The laws are different.
For laws,
there's an assumption that everybody
the attitude is different. Not just laws. The attitude too is different.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So, before we move on to the Tribune,
the governor of Lagos State, while receiving members of the House of Representatives on Works and the chairman of the committee, led by Kabir Abubakar, the court visit to Lagos, appealed to the federal government to take up the Badagry Highway, Lagos-Badagry Highway. He's saying that many Nigerians are going through untold hardship, that he is aware that there isn't, I'm aware that doesn't have sufficient funding, and this is an international gateway into the country from Togo, Ghana, Benin. And this is the way they come in, and that road is under construction, and there isn't enough funding to finish the construction. So he's appealing that the House of Representatives push the federal government to fund the completion of that road.
Moving on now to the Nigerian Tribune, let's find a story. Gulak, Northern governors warn against politicization of the killings. Empty streets in Southeast states as IPOB Sit-At-Home order takes effect. Don't scrap NYSC, Sultan tells FG. On is set to hold first World Yoruba Carnival of Arts and Culture. Buhari appoints Kinjigbe Special Envoy to Chad and Lake Chad Basin region. Scientists successfully test cancer-killing drug that may replace chemotherapy. And Nigeria needs brand new constitution, says Afenifere. Okay, Mariam, want to start with the NYC story, or?
Okay.
Should I go with the Afenifere?
Who wants to go with it?
So yes, the Sultan of Sokoto, Ahmed Sahad Abubakar, has called on the federal government not to think of scrapping. He did this when he received the Batch A Stream 2 members currently undergoing orientation. He explained that the NYC was established to further unity, and he noted that the scheme is needed now more than ever in Nigeria because Nigeria is so divided between ethnicity and religious background, and is welcoming those that are coming to Sokoto that they should be comfortable. It's the most peaceful state in Nigeria. He's looking forward. He urges them to be security conscious while staying in Sokoto, and they should know that the security challenges now happens all over the world, and that we have a bit of our own share. They should not keep late nights. If they have any challenges, they should contact their district head, because they are like your fathers and guardians. That's his admonition to the NYC.
Scientists. Okay, so researchers at the University of Edinburgh have said that they have successfully tested a drug, a Trojan horse drug, which can kill cancer and bacterial cells without damaging the nearby organs. And they said there's the way they do it, which is they feed these cancer cells directly, and then it destroys them. But there will need to be more research to be done to see if it is safe and swift and can be used for early-stage cancer treatment. And if it is so, that means it's good news for many people across the world. I mean, for everyone, actually, across the world, if you can safely treat.
Yes, so the Pan-Yoruba Socio-Cultural Group Afenifere made a case for a new constitution, saying that the 1999 constitution was a fraud. And they also said that the constitution needs to be agreed by the different nationalities. So everybody needs to come out. They have a right to choose how they want to be governed. They have a right to their sovereignty, and they are supposed to, bring their own quota together to come together and make it more like everybody contributing, so that one ethnic group does not lord it over the other ethnic group. They said that the Yoruba people are not afraid to be called for, fighting for restructuring, because they have been people who have always fought for the unity of Nigeria. Give some other stories alluding to that. And they also said that when we have a new constitution, that amending the constitution is more like a waste of time, because it's a unitary constitution. When we have a new constitution, people will, it will help remove all the agitations that we have. There was something they mentioned that was quite interesting. Afenifere speaking. Yes, so they said that ethnic nationalities in the country should be encouraged to prepare their documents on terms of engagement between now and December 2021. Right. The documents from the nationalities in which they propose the kind of regional government they want to form to be collated and considered between January and March 2022. Right. The product of the process then produce the document that will become the Constitution of the United Regions of Nigeria, or Federal Republic of Nigeria, and everything should be ready in October 1st. So it becomes effective October 1st, 2022. This is the first time I'm seeing. So we hear like a lot of people say, yes, we want restructuring. So now they have listed out how they want it to be done. And I think it makes a lot of sense.
There are no gray areas.
Yes.
Clear on
exactly what they want.
What they want. All right, moving on to Daily Sun. Police snap Gulak's killers, injure 10 suspects. Sit-at-home order cripples Southeast as about others. Customs goes after private jet owners. Traders injured as explosion rocks markets in rivers. Ebonyi on red alert over Benue killings. And no going back on agitation for Yoruba nation, says Gani Adams. Okay, let's start with I had the story on Gulak's killers. I mean, we had that story that let me see if I can find it here. So, looking for the spokesperson Bala Elkanah of the Police Intelligence Response said that the suspects were traced to Afo Junction in Mbais, where thank you, where they were said to be busy giving protection to some hoodlums who were stealing onions, and that's where they zeroed in on them, shot about a few of them, and arrested about 4. So we're hoping that proper investigation will be carried out, and then we'll be able to trace exactly where these and why these hoodlums came from. And why he was assassinated. Okay, I was going to take the story also. The customs are saying that private jet owners, they're saying that they're going to need private jet owners to come to verify their documentation with the customs, and they're asking them to come to their office. In fact, I like the fact that they even give them the date. I'm looking at the story here. They said that room 307, 305, they gave them the address between, I think, June 7th and July is 1 month. Come, your representative should come, and I'm also announcing on their behalf. You own a private jet in this country. The customs are calling you for a meeting to show that you have verification to carry out you have license to carry out. License to carry out your duties. So if you don't, because right now they're going to be tasking those who have not done proper registration, and then it's also part of the revenue generation.
Because I think anybody that can fly a private jet should be made to pay more.
Yes.
A lot of our leaders,
care of the poor.
Exactly.
Okay, is there another story, son?
Sit-at-home. Yes. So the sit-at-home was actually, I would say, quite effective because a lot of the states complied. Even states that were not had never partook of it complied. But at the end of the day, it became bloody. So they said there were a lot of people that were killed. We had policemen from different states in Enugu, in Onitsha, different places lying in the pool of their own blood. They said they also had suspected IPOB members that were also killed. So it just, the Southeast right now, it's really like a hotbed. I really don't know what is happening. I think it's time for us to really sit down and have a conversation. How do we go from here? Basically the story.
Let's move on to Vanguard. Good luck. I phoned to wish him safe journey home, says son. Amnesty International reacts as police allegedly shot Shore in Abuja. Apapa gridlock. How NPA, LASMA, police orders frustrate e-collab system. Don't join in beating drums for war. Nigeria's breakup Ganduje begs editors. 2023, why I'll run again, says Mogalu. Biafra Day, businesses shut as Southeast records total lockdown. Wake up, Nigeria in the precipice, Afenifere Ohaneze tells Buhari. And produce your asset form or go to jail, EFCC warns bank owners and workers. I mean, Gulak's murder is such a horrible story. Says his son was saying that he was an emo for the constitutional review that many of the senators across the country were part of. And it's really quite painful that this happened. Same thing with the judge.
That judge, I can't understand. There's so much going on. We need leadership. Huge, visible leadership. Someone that will rally everybody together and raise a banner of hope for Nigerians. But there's so much going wrong in this country right now.
Yeah. So, but in Kano State, the governor Abdullahi Ganduje, during the biennial convention of NGE, that's the Nigerian Guild of Editors, he was just, appealing to journalists and those in the media. It says it's important that at this time we should use the media for the promotion of peace and stability and change the viewpoints that could alter public views and sentiment toward a peaceful resolution of our multifaceted current crisis. If and only if we as a nation are interested in peace and harmony, we must reject hate propaganda machinery. It is time editors should be conflict sensitive about our nation. And he says really also the media is one of the freest globally, that's the Nigerian media, and that with free speech also comes responsibility. So we should be careful in the way the words that are being used in the media, how we interpret things in the media, the things that we say, not to incite the polity.
So remember, we had him on the show when he declared the last election, and now he has declared again that he's going to run. That's Kingsley Mogalu, who was a candidate in the last presidential election, says he's going to come back and run for election, saying that he has a dream for Nigeria. Says he has a swag theme as for his election. That's security for all Nigerians, war against poverty, and skill acquisition for young people, accelerated education and healthcare reform, and good governance. That's what he calls his swag team. And he's saying that this is necessary, that he speaks up now because there's a lot of things going wrong, and that, in his words, National Assembly must now pass into law with no further delay the necessary electoral reforms that will make democracy yield real dividends for Nigerians. Our votes must count and be counted transparently.
We have to run. Let me take Daily Trust. There's a story there that was interesting. Nigerians battle for drugs as India shuts pharmaceutical companies. Experts warn of anarchy as IPOB locks down Southeast. And Atiku expands business with SAC company bank in Adamawa. You have that story.
Nigerians battle for drugs. So as India shuts pharmaceutical companies, so many Nigerians are really complaining that the prices of drugs have gone high. You know, it's much more expensive to buy drugs, and that cannot be taken away from the fact that India is shut down most of their companies due to the effect of COVID in their country. And it has affected us. We know, largely dependent on importing drugs. They say 60% of the drugs that are found in our market come from India. And so now with the shutting down of their own companies, it is time that Nigeria, the federal government, look into investing into the petrochemical industry as well as the energy sector, and that those are the things that would come across as incentives for production, for people to come into this industry. We know we have talked about electricity in so many ways, over and over, how it affects many things, and this is one of the things.
Atiku just opened a new company. He actually has a company that currently produces products that need sacks, and usually imports the sacks from Lagos, hundreds, thousands of sacks from Lagos. But now he's established a company in Yola that will produce the sacks locally, generating employment for people within Adamawa State in Yola, as well as meet the need of other companies that require sacks for their own production. At the same time, he also opened a microfinance bank, saying that he's putting his resources to empower the people of his state and Nigeria generally.
That's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, we discuss the plight of people living with disabilities. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So according to reports, the 5 most common types of diabetes, disabilities actually, in Nigeria are visual impairment, hearing impairment, physical impairment, intellectual impairment, and communication impairment. Many of them face a number of human rights abuses, including stigma, discrimination, violence, and lack of access to healthcare, housing, and education. Joining us on the show is a broadcast journalist, sound engineer, public speaker, and a gender and disability rights advocate, Oluwatomisin Adeyefa. Welcome to the show, madam.
Thank you very much for having me.
To join the conversation, you can call us on 081-270-53687, also 091-390-76948. You can tweet us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Thank you for joining us again. So we always like to review the plights of people living with disabilities in the country, because we know that even our president recently signed a bill into law in January. We're hoping that things have changed. In your view, are you beginning to see changes? Yes, some policies changing, but have you started seeing implementation on the sides of Nigeria, on the parts of Nigerians?
When it comes to implementation, the implementation hasn't started proper. In fact, we still have a very long way to go when it comes to plight of persons with disabilities in Nigeria. And then I'm hoping that at the expiration of the 5 years train course set by the presidency, you know, they will begin to enforce the act, and then we can move on from there. But to say implementation, wow, we still have a very long way to go.
What do you think can be, what advice, I guess, can we give towards encouraging proper implementation of these policies? What can we encourage, not just government, but individuals, you know, that we interact with that can help towards implementation of these?
Okay, so like you said, it's not just about the government, it's about you and I, it's about the media, it's about parents, it's about friends, it's about the society, it's about institutions and all of that. So it means that all of us must come together to see that persons with disabilities are humans, you know, and they should be treated as such. Immediately we have that at the back of our mind, implementation will come smoothly. In a case where you have the government is saying, okay, we have an act, we have a law protecting persons with disabilities, and some private institutions will still be doing their own at the side, you know, against that law and cutting corners just to say, okay, we don't have these provisions, we can't make these provisions here and there and all of that. So it means that we all must play our part right from the beginning, the family, friends, the society, the church, the mosque, religious organizations, institutions, education. Everybody must play their part. And it is easy if only we begin to see persons with disabilities as human that they are.
Okay, so for me, I think that sometimes I see the government's approach towards many change they want to achieve very autocratic and dictatorial. Like, oh, this is the law. You must have access way for persons with disability. You must do this. You have between this and this to do it. How about we follow the approach of love and genuine care, where the campaign is to make everybody feel like I'm my brother's keeper, and if there is someone around me who is a person with any disability, I should take that ownership of that person. Wouldn't that be a better approach to galvanize the change that persons with disability need beyond canvassing for, let's make it compulsory for all companies to employ these people, fiat?
Like I said earlier, I said it takes you and I to begin to see persons with disabilities as humans. You know, when we begin to see them as human, definitely you will love a human being like yourself. You will care for someone that you consider a human being like yourself. You treat that person with respect, with dignity, with, you know, utmost love at the end of the day. So it's just that in a place where you do not have a law, sin abounds. So I think the law is just to put us in check as humans that we are. Because if there is no law, if there is no guiding principle, we tend to fall short of those acts that we are supposed to enforce.
Right, go ahead.
So, you know, I'm in the educational space, and one of the things that UNICEF and other international bodies have advocated for a while now is inclusive education for young children, so that in the typical classroom, even if you have persons with disabilities, you're able to mend your curriculum in such a way that you handle everybody. But I worry that even when we do that in education, the society is not prepared to handle them when they come out of school. Now, what sort of you know, advocacy do you think a lot of us need to take up? How do we start, you know, creating awareness that people with disabilities, they may have those disabilities, but it doesn't stop them from truly living their lives. How best do you think we can push this message out there? Okay,
like what I'm currently doing now, we are campaigning against disability-based violence. We are saying that persons with disabilities, apart from their gender, they are also susceptible to being violated, being abused based on their disability. So we say that any kind of abuse, any kind of violence you mete out to anyone based on their disabilities, disability-based violence, it means that, you know, whatever you do, contrary to what you should do to a human being, you have violated that person. So if a child, for instance, is being deprived of access to education, or you want to enroll a child with disability in school and that child is being deprived, that child is not allowed to participate like his or her peers, it's a kind of violence, and it could have effect on that child. It could have effect on that child. It could make the child develop psychological trauma. And you will notice that so many persons with disabilities are out there going through one form of emotional stress, emotional trauma or the other. It is bad that you have a disability, a part of your body is not functioning as it should function. It is worse now when people begin to discriminate against you, when people begin to violate you, emotionally abuse you because of your disability. You know,
there's always that thin line, which I'd like you to help us address. Because people want to support those living with disability. But there's always that thin line of, am I patronizing or am I pitying? You know, and people don't want to feel like, don't pity me because I'm normal. But at the same time, I also want to consider the fact that you may not have ability in this area. So where do we draw that line? How do people work with people living with disability better such that they don't feel pity?
Okay, let me paint a scenario to you. I got to K2 this morning, and you know, I want to get in a pep down here, and somebody approaches me and said, "Hey, sorry, okay, what do you want?" That scenario is pity. Now, if someone approached me and said, "Hello, please, where are you going? Do you want to cross the road? Do you want to?" that scenario is empathy. The person has, you know, differentiated between my disability and the fact that I'm a human being that needs assistance. Some of us, even without disability, we need guidance. We need assistance to do certain things. So immediately you take away the disability and see that person as a human being. You are able to relate without, you know, adding this disability, discrimination against it. So it's always safe to say that as much as there's a thin line between sympathy and empathy, we all can empathize if we truly want to empathize. Right. And we can, you know, pity people when we truly want to, it's a pity.
I think that, at least both are still better than not understanding
discrimination.
Discrimination. But I also feel that, well, maybe we should catch people young. Maybe when we reach out to children, from when you're small, you're already made to understand these people are human beings and they need your empathy, not pity. They don't need you to look down on them, but you should support them in every way you can. We can encourage that culture from ground up.
Right. Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. All right, so before we break, I think Mariam had a question.
Yes. So I know we're talking about empathy and sympathy, and Toko mentioned something that is better than discrimination anyway, but I think what is even better than empathy or sympathy is just to have things working so that people living with disabilities can live a dignified life. So if you were to give us like a scorecard in Nigeria, what would you say our score is? And if there's any, and is there anything in particular that we're doing right for now and that we can work towards? I know there's so many things that are wrong right now, but is there anything that as a country we're doing right, or or in Lagos State that is doing right towards, and then if we can put our attention there and see how it's done, we can replicate it in the other places as well?
Okay. So let me pick Lagos State as a case study here. I think, fair enough, Lagos State, I will give them a 6/10. And I'll give them a 6/10 because, you know, there's an office responsible that is saddled with the responsibility of, you know, having the issues of persons with disabilities brought forward to the executive and legislature, which is the Lagos State Office for Persons with Disabilities. And the governor is, you know, intimate with that office, is always looking for ways to make sure that persons with disabilities are given an opportunity. They're given equal opportunity here in Lagos State. You know, we've had cases of the governor releasing grants, the governor, you know, giving opportunity for employment for persons with disabilities, and he's doing so much more. Right. But a lot still needs to be done, and it also begins with our own orientation as a people. You know, how do we lift the burden of emotional stress, the burden of psychological trauma off this person, so that when the governor is giving you grants to do a business, you will do that business as a person with disability and you will thrive. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So it also begins with we not discriminating, we giving equal access, equal opportunity, equity, yes, because we can be equal and not equitable at the end of the day. So equity is the right word to say that, okay, if I'm building a complex, for instance, I have to make sure that I provide access for persons with disabilities to be able to come into that complex, perhaps rent a shop, perhaps, you know, do business, buy and sell in that same space and not feel, you know, left out or secluded of that arena.
Let's talk about your personal story for a bit, because I believe that if we have people coming up to share their stories, it will open the eyes of Nigerians to see where they can fit in, to support you. You are a very intelligent, beautiful woman.
Thank you.
Yeah. And what sort of help did you get along your journey? You're a broadcast journalist. What sort of help did you get along your journey? How did people support your journey, your school? Can you give us a bit of that?
Okay. I got blind in 2009. February 2009, and after I got blind, I remember the consultant who attended to me, you know, at the last minute after I lost my sight said, okay, there is a school for the blind he could refer me to, and I could go there. I went to the school. It's a primary school in Surulere, the Pacheli School for the Blind, but I was way above the age they could admit as a student. So I got turned back and we started looking for information. And this is where a lot of things still needs to be done in Nigeria. Information is not all that out. I can tell you that there are 1,000,001 children who are still being locked up in their houses, who their parents are still locking them up somewhere because they don't know where to take them to. They don't know who to turn to for help when it comes to persons with disability. As a matter of fact, in some cultures, you don't come out and say your child has a disability. It's a shame on the family. It's something that brings condemnation on the family. It's like the gods have cursed you and you have done something grievous. So it is easy for those parents to just lock up those children and maltreat them. Some children are being beaten day and night because they are of disability, which of course it's not their fault. It's not even their doing. If they were to choose differently, they would say they wouldn't want to be a child with a disability. So we started asking around. We started asking, and we got the information that, okay, the federal government has an institution here in Lagos. And that's the only institution that serves as a vocational training center built by the federal government of Nigeria to cater for blind persons in Nigeria.
The entire country?
Yes, that's the only federal government vocational training center for visually impaired persons in Nigeria.
Wow.
So what we did was, what they do in that institution is they have a quota from each state. So for instance, each state is to bring 3 students, visually impaired trainees, to come train, learn how to read Braille, learn typewriting, learn how to farm, learn how to make art and craft and all of those things. So I had to go back to my state of origin, which is Osun State, and I had to go there and, you know, ask to be referred to that institution, which I eventually got the referral in 2010, and I got admitted into that institution. I tried going into Lagos, and you know what happened to Lagos? In fact, Lagos was already overbloated.
Wow.
They had more than the quota allocated to them yearly. So getting a slot in Lagos State is very, very difficult. And I had to go back to Osun State where I got that referral. So after I got the referral, I mean, I spent a year learning how to read and write as a blind person, trying to rehabilitate myself and rehabilitate myself as a blind person, because of course it's not going to be very easy. And I got the support of my family, most especially. I mean, which is the basis of any support you can get. If your family are behind you, whatever anybody says out immaterial, you really literally will not take it to heart because you have people who have got your back. So after I finished there, and then I had to move on because I wanted to go to school, I wanted to be educated. Before then, I was a science student, and as a science student, you cannot, as a visually impaired person, you cannot do a science course. It's not possible because you need your eyes to do certain things. Yeah, you need your eyes to be in the laboratory. You need your eyes to do a lot of things. So I had to, you know, rewrite my GCE. I had to do JAM all over again. And then the trouble continued because, I mean, I got to the Polytechnic where I wanted to go to the Moshood Abiola Polytechnic. And I wanted to get my post-UTME form. And, you know, I met a staff of that same institution who said, you shouldn't be here. You should go back to where they accept your kind.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Literally, to any other person, that word would have just, you know, made me feel very bad. And then perhaps I would have just turned back and went home. But because of the determination that comes with me as a person, I said, where do they accept my kind? I said, you go to Oyo now, special. That is where they accept your kind. That's to tell you that when they say you are going to a special school, they feel, oh, there are certain schools. It's not like the inclusive education we were talking about. I said, they don't have provision for persons like me.
We have to wrap up, but I think your story is quite profound. And it reminds us the fact that we do need to have empathy. The government's policy must be in place, and after the policy, implementation of the people and the acceptance. Because I can somewhat relate, because I was on wheelchair for about 4 months and I had to go to school. So I wheel my chair from my house to the bus stop back in the US, and the bus pulls down the lever. I come in, I sit on the disability point, I get to school, because by the time I get to school, my schoolmates are already there. They help me into the campus and I begin to wheel myself. So I understand what you mean, that society hasn't totally accepted, and we need to begin to use this platform to let Nigerians understand that we must empathize and be there to help those who are living with disability. But thank you very much, madam.
Thank you
for coming to the
much.
show. We hope. Is there anything you're working on that you would like us to know about?
Yes. We're working on the Amplifying Voices project, which is, sensitizing the public and persons with disabilities that disability-based violence, emotional violence, psychological violence, such as name-calling, body shaming, discrimination, beating, all of those things contribute to the emotional strength of a person with disability. And then we all must come together to make sure that the disability-based violence we're talking about is brought to the barest minimum. The truth is, see a person with disability as a human being.
Simple.
That's the most important thing. When you consider that person as a human being, you treat the person as such with dignity, with respect and love.
Thank you.
That's all. Thank you so much for being. That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we'll move on to other topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So 31st of May every year since 1987 has been set aside by World Health Organization as the No Tobacco Day. This yearly celebration informs the public on the dangers of using tobacco. Joining us on the show right now is Dr. Ogunleye, who is a consultant cardiothoracic surgeon, Lagos University Teaching Hospital. Good morning, sir. Are you there?
Good morning, ma. How are you?
Very well, sir. So,
Okay.
yeah, when I read the report on this World Tobacco Day, I thought to myself as a layman that, I thought we've really, had some giant strides in stopping people from smoking cigarettes. And then I was told that, no, people have even graduated to smoking other things. But, Sarah, could you just give us some picture of data on what we're dealing with concerning smoking, those who are addicted to smoking in Nigeria?
Well, smoking is still very prevalent in Nigeria. As a matter of fact, it is even extending to younger age groups. In those days, you see, it's usually when you are in late teenage years to adulthood that people start smoking. But now, if you go out, you see them, even children as low as 14, you see them smoking. And it's a bit worrisome, actually, because smoking at that age group enhances the chances of cancer and more diseases later in life. Because at that point, that is the time when the foundation is laid for more dangerous things happening to the health of the individual later in life.
Dr. Ezekiel, in the past, they tell us this, that smoking is dangerous to your health, and we just take it hook, line, and sinker. But these days, young people, they like to be communicated with pictures. They need a visual explanation of what you're saying. So could you give us an idea, a graphic explanation of how exactly smoking is dangerous to the lungs and to the lives of young people?
It is said that if you smoke actively for 20 to 30 years, such individual will reduce his lifespan by at least 10 years.
Wow.
Now, smoking is poison. Either active. Now, when you are smoking cigarettes, you are an active smoker. Anybody around that is perceiving the smell of smoke is a passive smoker. Both are exposed to dangers of smoking. In the cigarette smoke, that smoke that comes out, there are about 3,000 to 4,000 poisons, chemicals, that can cause cancer inside it. And now, smoking affects several organs in the body. It affects the lungs, principally. It affects the blood vessels that traverses every part of the system, every part of the body. It also affects certain organs like esophagus, where it can cause cancer, the stomach, where it can cause cancer, the bladder, where it can cause cancer. So, in effect, cigarette smoking has no advantage to the body. It only causes disease. You know, Yorubas will say, "Kama for wuraku."
Right.
When you buy cigarettes and you are smoking it, you are buying your death.
Okay.
You are buying poison that can kill.
Yeah. Okay, so the thing is, sadly, the numbers of young people getting into smoking is increasing. Now, I know that on every pack of cigarettes, even people that distributors of cigarettes have their dispatch vehicle labeled with only for people above 18. So how do we implement, in the minimum, let's protect the less than 18. Let it be a decision only adults are making. How can we how can we take ownership of this cause? How can the government step in to reduce the number of underage smoking and encourage people to speak up and just talk to their environment, within the environment, to ensure only those above 18 even have access to it in the first place?
One, we need a strong legislation. All right? And we need to empower the schools, and parents need to pay active attention to their children. All right? Now, a lot of our parents these days abdicate their responsibility to teachers in schools. We are, as parents, we are just every day busy going out and daily activities, struggling to maintain the family, but we're not paying close attention to the children. How often do we check them? How often do we check their bags that they take to school, their friends? You know, so that is one. Then two, legislation. If you go to UK, if you go to US, you will see boldly on the cigarette pack, smoking is dangerous to health. Smoking can kill. But when you come here, when you see the packaging in Nigeria, they will just write as a footnote, smoking is dangerous to health.
So they say smokers are liable to die young.
Yeah. So it is not, even on the billboards, it is written just as a footnote. Yeah. But if we need to embolden that to make people know that look, but that we see it every day. You can imagine if you put an advert on the Korodu Road where they are advertising cigarettes, you also write it in the same side of the left lane. That look, smoking can kill.
All right, let me throw a few more questions in for you.
All right. You send the message.
Okay, sir. So, you know, this cigarette business or the different types of tobacco, it's really a business that rakes in money for the companies that own it. And I think if the fight is really that obvious that, you know, the government is fighting people endangering their lives by partaking in this, it will seem like the government is trying to stop their business. And also, I know that smoking is a bit glamorous. So when people see adverts and see how they carry it, they want to be a part of it. How can you create an awareness? How can we create an awareness in such a way that when people see the effects, we present the effects more like on a daily basis, on billboards, on placards, wherever you go, you are seeing the effects. How can we make it so much that when people see, they would know to tell themselves not to engage in it?
Now, it is a bit difficult. I'll tell you why. Even the government too is not actively supporting this campaign. It's not only in Nigeria, it's worldwide. Because majority of these companies, they provide a lot of taxes, a lot of revenue to government, a lot of employment, All right? And then even the stars, the celebrities, who they call, who are their ambassadors, they make a lot of money from it. So these are the challenges that is impeding this campaign. Now, if you see an organization that is ready and very, very front, we have law that says no, smoking is banned in public places. Is it implemented? It's not implemented. 3 days ago, I was passing through an area, and I saw people, young people, in the university, whatever it is, maybe they are club one, and they were talking freely. And nearby was the policemen, and I said, "Okay, these people are smoking freely." And do you know what he told me? He said, what is your own concern? If you know you don't want to leave the place. He said to leave the place. So I just started left. But before I go and start. So these are the challenges. But we must continue to maintain this campaign openly and keep telling people that, look, cigarette smoking is dangerous and can kill. There was a star in 1976 or 77 who advertised Marlboro and was smoking. In 1991, when he died, nobody informed us. He died of lung cancer.
Right.
Do you understand? So these are the messages that we should bring to the public.
Right.
That this type I saw in 1977 that was smoking on a horse or on this and that, look at him now, he died of lung cancer in 1991.
All right, let me throw a few more questions for you, sir. Go ahead.
So I find the campaign against smoking to be quite a tough one, because I know that government globally, in their bid to encourage not smoking, have, I think, put a ban on advertising on TV. Also, you know, they are caught in between because of the taxations that they get from companies like that. And then when we talk about how families are being raised, many parents smoke. Many children get their first experience of seeing a person smoke from their fathers or their mothers. So it's not even necessarily about a parent that is not even there, or because sometimes we have parents who are actively bringing up their children, nurturing them and teaching them well. They go off to secondary school and they meet the cool gang and they pick up smoking. And because it's so challenging and so tough, I always wonder what other way, apart from just, you know, the usual, because that's what I hear every time the comes across. You know, we say the same thing over and over again. Like, and every year I see new people, younger people picking up these things to smoke. Where should we be looking at, for me, is what should be the next step towards making this campaign more successful? Because just talking, using government is not working. And then there's another thing that has happened now with the e-smoking. We now lie to the children and tell them there are less aggressive or less dangerous methods of smoking. So really and honestly, is this campaign ever going to be successful?
Now, I will take you back to history. In 1939, Becky and Co. found out that, look, cigarette smoking is the cause of lung cancer. Everybody was saying it. It took almost another 30 years in 1964 before the Surgeon General in the US can come out openly and say cigarette smoking is dangerous to health. There is no advantage that you get from cigarette smoking. Why are we still producing it? Why are we still? Can't we ban it? It's poison. That is the only way by which you can stop this thing. Everybody now, the world is now trying to stop coronavirus. The world is now trying to stop diseases. Cigarette smoking, you can quote me, has nothing of health importance to do for the body except disease. I met a man came to see me 3 years ago, and by the time I saw him, he had lung cancer. And I sat him down. How long have you been smoking? He's been smoking for 15 years. And we calculated the amount of money he has spent on smoking. There was enough then for him to buy a land in Ikorodu and start building a house. He started crying. It has of no value at all. The approach may be too unrealistic, but that's the solution. Stop production of smoking, of cigarettes. All
right. We need to wrap up with you, Dr. Ezekiel. So, final comment on this, because every year, as Mariam said, we talk about this issue of no tobacco day, World No Tobacco Day. And these days, tobacco is being laced with different items are being laced with tobacco. So you don't have to even buy a cigarette to get tobacco anymore. Yeah. So as a doctor who treats these diseases that is of cancer origin from lungs and issues of smoking and all that, what is your final message to Nigerians concerning tobacco use?
Thank you, ma'am. Now, is that we must continue to fight against this disease. We must continue to encourage people to stop smoking. We must continue to tell our children that, look, cigarette smoking is dangerous, it kills. and it offers good body nothing. It's 5 minutes enjoyment and disease of
long-lasting
and long-time disease. It is laying the foundation of your death now in your youth. And finally, 200 million Nigerians on generator. It is also polluting the environment. The dangerous exhaust from all these things also is out of the pollution that we're all inhaling. We need to beg government that we need a stable, neat electricity.
Thank you very much, sir. That's all we can take.
It's a pleasure on the show.
We've been speaking with Dr. Ogunleye Ezekiel, who is a consultant cardiothoracic surgeon at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital. When we go on a break now, we'll come back, move on to other hot topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're moving on to the worsening insecurity in the southeastern states. Many Nigerians are quite worried. For the first time, almost all the states complied fully to the sit-at-home order by IPOB. And that was quite surprising because we've seen in many years there was hardly compliance. But this time around, things were different. We have a guest who's supposed to be from, I think he's the head of security, Commissioner of Security from Ebonyi State. But for some reason, we can't reach him. Hopefully, we try to get him before the end of the show because we're quite concerned about Ebonyi. There are quite a few people that were killed. I think a police officer, 4 others, members of IPOB were killed, according to reports in the papers today. And across the state, across that region, in Imo, we've seen quite a lot of buildings have been burnt, police stations, INEC offices. People feel quite unsafe. And we're like, whilst we're waiting for our guests to come into the show, I'd like to invite our callers, especially those of you living in the southeastern region. You can call us on 081-270-53687. Call us on 091-390-76948. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweet. We want to know if you complied, why you felt the need to comply, and general thoughts on the insecurity in that region. We'd really like to hear from you from the southeast. But let me come to the ladies. Let me start with you. What are your general, a lot of people are scared, as I said, but what are your thoughts as citizens?
I share the fear. I share the fear and the worry about how the crisis in the southeast has escalated, because we sort of saw that there was stoking of this crisis. We saw that something was going to happen. They kept saying there were a lot of agitation from different groups within the southern belt of Nigeria. And suddenly we have a case of broad daylight killing. Like broad daylight killing. Police stations are being attacked, burnt. Police officers are being killed, broad daylight. INEC offices being burnt. And to a large extent, when I saw the compliance, sort of, what we call compliance, because some of them on social media said that it's because of the fear of their lives that they sat at home. So if we call it compliance, it might be like somebody willingly sat at home. But in some cases, they just out of fear for their life sat at home. And I wondered, how did this? What were the southern governors looking at? So southeastern governors looking at for so long, to the point where a group can galvanize this much influence on the people of the state, and sort of like looks like there's nothing the governors can do to restore peace and hope to the citizens of that state. It's worrisome that elected officials of these states couldn't do much.
Okay. Your thoughts, BC?
Yeah, so there are a lot of stories flying around. Some say that the insecurity has increased because, they are not very happy with the new governor and they're trying to destabilize the state. Other people are saying that the people who are actually being paraded as IPOB are actually people from other states, that they have caught a lot of them and they are not Igbo-speaking people. that these are just people from other places coming to, you know, cause disruption in the state. Whatever it is, I think the Southeast governors need to come together. I think they need to have a voice. I think they need to stand up to what is happening. So if you're saying that these are not your people, that they are criminal elements, I think it's time for you to fish them out and prosecute them to show that you are not, you're not fighting yourself, you're not working against yourself. Because the truth is, all the police stations that are being burnt, it's for the people of the different states. So by the time you finish destroying all of those police stations, all of those INEC offices and all of that, you're going to still use state funds to repair them. And we do not have enough. There are roads that are supposed to be fixed in those places. There are a lot of things that we need funds for, you know. But I also think that it's time for, there was, I think about 2 weeks ago, the Southeast governor said they were going to ask the young men to write their grievances so that they will have a roundtable talk. It was in the papers till today. I haven't heard that they actually had that meeting to find out what is happening. I think we need to work together if we're serious about ensuring that there is peace, so that criminal elements from outside will not cause a disruption of that place. And you say you want, you know, someone of Igbo extraction to be the president. If you have that sort of, you know, mayhem happening, instability happening in that place, you cannot present a president from Igbo extraction.
For me, it's just appealing to Nigerians and wherever we are, southeast, south, the north, the middle belt. There's just so much violence across our country. And it's like, you know, many people are saying these are signs towards something even worse. And I would just like for each and every one of us to sit back. You know, sometimes when these violence happen and people die and you go to social media, you read the vitriol, the anger, the hate. I want us all to sit back and think about the fact that this is your house. You know, just think about it smaller. This is your house. This is your home. There's nowhere else to go. So if you're in your home and people come into your home, they're not meant to be your home, and they do something that is wrong, you will be able to fish them out and point them out and take them and report them to the authorities that can handle them. If people come into your home to destroy it, you have worked so hard, you have built a place, and they come into to destroy it so that your children do not enjoy the fruit of your labor, you will step in and make sure that those people do not get away with crime. This is our place. This is our home. There's nowhere else. I know everybody is waiting for that savior president, that savior governor, that savior commissioner. We are all our own saviors. From our different regions and our different tiny communities, we need to stand together and make sure that peace reigns and make sure that we leave a better place for our younger ones and our children coming behind us. Let our story not be like Liberia. Let our story not be like all the other African countries that we are watching from afar and thinking, how did they let this happen? It happens like this, and it's mostly word of mouth. When you preach anger, you preach hate, you preach division amongst each other. So please, wherever we are, Southeast, all across Nigeria, let's rethink this road that we are on.
Thank you very much, Mariam. Let me take this call from Patrick. He's calling from Owerri. Patrick, thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Caller.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Yes, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show, Patrick. Yes, go ahead.
How are you?
Very well. Go ahead, please.
We're still alive here. It's important for you guys to know that.
Thank God.
Most times, how bloggers paint things might not be the way it comes. The whole thing is spiraling into multifaceted dimension. I'm sure some of you out there will think that everybody in Owerri is wearing helmet and bulletproof. That's not the way it is. The enemy works with fear. And when that is, I'm sure if I tell any of you to come to Owerri, you will not do that. That's not true. That is what whoever that wants to achieve. And these things are killing us. But on the other lane, the commemoration or whatever you call it, memorial that was done yesterday, like you rightly pointed out, on the part of the iPod guy, he had a good intention. But the communication was harsh. If you come out, you die. Liars, all those kind of stuff. There are people naturally that would have done that. If you have taken the modus operandi of trying to convince the people to know that we lost over 5 million. there is need to warn these people. A lot of people would have done that voluntarily. Most people that stayed indoors had issues. And you know, where things are done under anarchy, there was no plan even made for medical emergency. So many women who could have delivered at home and all whatnot. On the part of the military and the press, the kind of things that are being oozed out by bloggers. For instance, I was told that an immigration officer was killed. That's what some of you read. But sources said that that man was shot at the checkpoint. We don't know the one that is the truth. But to some people, hey, he's anybody that comes out, they shoot him and he dies. 3 bullets everywhere. I was told, though I have not verified it, that when there was an attack in Oji, whichever be unknown government or whatever left, even before the military came and started shooting sporadically, a lot of people who got wounds, we don't know whether it's coming from a non-government or from the military. If there are clarities in that decision, because even in at war, there are medium of engagement. But beyond that, our president, people here, I don't know whether he's hearing us. Your Excellency, people here don't believe you like whatever you think. I'm sure people are telling you don't mind that the people love you. Not now. The people are angry. The people are not happy. They feel abandoned. They feel you've left them to themselves. It's survival of the fittest. Nobody goes here beyond 5 o'clock. When things begin to happen in the home, you all have home. The first thing you shout is daddy, mommy. You look upon them. That coverage is no longer there.
Patrick, let me stay with you for a minute because the same federal government proscribed IPOB as a terrorist group. And if IPOB was supposed to be allegedly a terrorist group, then says that stay at home. Don't you think the federal government should have been very affirmative in ensuring that none of this was carried out? But for the fact that IPOB was able to get almost the entire region, that in itself it's almost as though that the region is under a terrorist hold. Don't you think?
Is that how you feel?
Oh goodness! I really wanted to engage Patrick.
We lost him. But may I just answer a bit of what you just asked? I think that the people are basically tired of like just what he said, that they are feeling like they have been left on their own. So some are saying, okay, let me come out. I can't come out because I don't know who is going to be shooting. I don't know if it's going to be the military. I don't know if it's going to be unknown gunmen. I don't know if it's going to be IPOB. I don't know. Let me just be safe and stay inside. So it's not like everybody wanted to comply or obey, but they had no choice. Because everywhere, I don't know how true the videos are on social media, but I saw a lot of shooting going on the streets of Imo State. So nobody wants to come out there and say, I want to listen to
the point I was trying to make was the fact that if a government says this group is terrorists, they said that, declared that openly. Now, and these people now say, stay at home. I would expect that the government's presence will be such that we see you to ensure that, please tell us you are free to go about your daily business because we are here to protect you. That shows that the federal government has my interest at heart. So but if you allow IPOB to put my entire region on the good, that means you are the federal government. It's not like you are scared of them, or you cannot. You don't have the capacity to protect the people.
We don't want to incite.
Go into that.
Because you see, if we say the way federal government can show might is to bring the military presence in full force, and if they do that, we can have cases of stray bullets, because according to what our last caller said from Owerri, he said there was shooting, but they left. Then the military came, and then they were further shooting. Now, he's not sure whether the military was shooting sporadically. He's alluding that the injuries might have been from military's random shooting to disperse, and everybody should be calm. So we also don't want a case where military will come and say, we want to keep everything safe. And in keeping things safe, something goes wrong. But I accuse him for pointing fingers to the president, because the reason we have federating states is so that the state governor has custody. There is nobody that should be shouting more than the state governors of the Southeast. And the shouting should have been before now. Consistently shouting, going to see the president every time that we need to do something. This is going to happen. We don't want this to happen. They're already clamoring. And then the citizens of the state should, yes, you should hold presidency accountable, but you should also hold your governor, your House of Assembly members, your senators.
When we say things like this, are we saying that the Southeastern governors haven't done anything?
Oh, they're speaking.
They have come together, they have had meetings, they have listened to their people concerning the Eastern Security Network. I just feel that there's just a loss of trust the people just do not trust the government and anyone that represents the government. And so that's why when the federal government, with all its might, would give would say, you know, IPOB is a terrorist organization, you people can go ahead and do your business. You do not trust that federal government and that federal government. So you stay at home. And who do you see more of? Who is it that you can point to that is more grassroots? It seems that the local group, the local militia seems to be closest to the people. Yeah. They see their impact. They see what their wars can cost. But how much of the federal government do they see? And do they also believe that their governors have the power to stand toe-to-toe with the local militia?
Let me take this call. I'll come to you. Good morning. Are you there? Hello?
Hello, good morning, my dear.
Odunze, thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, it's the first-time caller.
Welcome to the show. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. I just want to appreciate you people. Please, I'm calling in respect of the insecurity in Imo State. What is happening in Imo State is very, very alarming, my dear. Now, yeah. You people are blaming people to stay at home, take order from this and that. How can you take order when the governor of the state, right from day one, no comment from him? He has never come out to address his people, and this is the man people are looking on to. What is happening there, my dear? What is happening in the night, you cannot believe it. They are pulling it up. What I am telling you is the naked truth before God and man. Do you know they raid in the night, they have their vehicles, they load them, and those people, most of them, they don't speak people. They do not speak people. That is who are they?
Who are they?
So I wanted to take it back a bit. So, you know, there's been a distrust from the people concerning the government, saying that all the times they had the clash between the farmers and the herders, the Southeast government did not have a voice. They did not come out to speak on their behalf. And that was one of the reasons they looked to IPOB to provide more like a security. And when they came, they actually said that they saw results from that. Then the Southeast governors now went back and said, okay, we can't let this happen because the federal government has already proscribed IPOB, so we can't let them have a security network when we, the Southeast governors, and that was why they decided to come up with Ebubeagu. So it's been a tussle between the people and the government of the Southeast states, saying that the Southeast states are not, the governors of the Southeast states are not fighting for their people because of the aspirations they have for elections. So it's been like a back and forth between the people and the states, the state governors. What we see now is a breakdown of total trust. Yeah. The people, it seems to me like the people are on their own. And if the Southeast states cannot come together to find solutions to their states, I don't know what's going to happen.
I have Obi from Onitsha. Obi, thanks for calling. Go ahead, please. Are you there?
Hello?
Yes, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I want to say thank you for airing this view. You guys are doing a great work.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. The people down here in the Southeast, we respect people a lot. We love you people.
Thank you, sir.
Because you guys are transparent.
Thank you, sir.
Because we need the media now to tell our leaders the truth. Okay? You guys are doing a wonderful job, and God will bless all of you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay? Yeah. The situation here is that we are all scared. Okay? And it's like people have begun to start trusting IPOT. Do you understand? Because they felt the federal government have neglected them, that this administration have done nothing for them. Do you understand? So if you made a comment, the compliance was not because people are afraid. People did it willingly. I can tell you that 80% of the people in the Southeast start at home not because they were forced to. They are beginning to see the reality on ground that this nation does not wish any for man good. They don't trust our politicians from the Southeast anymore. And I'm begging the president, please, I'm talking to the president, please, to look at this matter holistically. Because if things are not handled, this thing might get out of hand. I am talking to the president.
Thank you very much, Mr. Obika, because, I mean, this brings us back to the role of the federal, I'll come to you in Togo, the role of the federal government. Yes, this spot is hot right now. I think the posture of our president is not helping matters. And it would be great for him to come forward, because every moment we hear Garba Shehu talking about one thing or the other, it is crucial we hear from them concerning the unrest we're seeing in the Southeast, because that in itself may help to cushion the effects of all that is happening so far in that side of town.
So, Morayo, for
I would like a trip of the president to the Southeast, honestly.
It's unsafe at this time. Yes. It might be unsafe for him to go at this time.
The Southeast is now hot. Southeast was warm. Before. It was even lukewarm before it became warm. Now it is hot. You don't wait until things become hot before you deal with it. Leadership sees the problem before it becomes a problem. We saw that happen as in the south, in the northeast, as things grew. The middle belt, as things grew, brewing things. You don't kill it in time, then it goes out of hand, and then you come and now say you want to try and find how many wars can we handle at the same time. We knew this thing was warm. Everybody here were taking it in papers back to back. So you proscribed IPOB. You said it is a terrorist group. The people were saying, this is not terror. We want this person. And then at the end of the day, you don't address the situation. Please, Mariam, there are many claims I want us to deal with. Number one, there are many unverified claims concerning what's happening in Southeast. Callers are saying, and it's in the papers, it's in blogs, that the people that are carrying guns are not Igbo speaking. Yes. Who interviewed them?
You know that
who interviewed them to say they are not Igbo speaking?
You don't know.
She's unverified. So the police, do we have people been arrested? And they said, these people that were arrested, though, because I also said, so that just said, many issues in the southwest, people were claiming it is Hausa until they arrested Fulani headmen, and we saw that they were Fulani people.
Can I respond to this one? Let me move forward, so that we don't mix it up. So in the papers, I think that was last week, they said they had arrested about 400 people who have been causing mayhem in the state. That was Imo State. And they realized they were non-speaking Igbos.
So where are they from?
Well, who are these people?
Who are these people?
So let us say, who are the people that have the audacity to enter the Southeast and carry out this mayhem, and nobody else in the South can stand up to them? Who are these people?
Let me take this call. I have Stanley from Owerri. Thanks for calling. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Hello.
You're live, Stanley. Go ahead, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, good morning. Sorry.
Morning.
Yeah, I'm in support. I'm in support to the last call that said that the Southeast governors or the leaders in Southeast have failed, which is true. And in support of him, we are no more in support of them. We are no more in trust in them. So people, hello, are you hearing me?
Very clearly. Please go ahead.
So we are not anymore trusted them. The people that got our leaders, we are no more trusted. We don't trust them anymore.
The line is not clear, but what he said was that people don't trust the leadership anymore. They are not in support of them, which was the second point. The first point I made was that he said the language was not true. And we need to verify that who are they, because we should stop on there. Number two, leadership. We've had three callers now, all from the Southeast, two living in the Southeast, saying that they've not heard from their leaders. We've got presidents on one side, governors, that the governor isn't speaking up. So there's a part of that. Then decentralization, because one person in Imo said that things are not as bad as is being painted online. Someone in Lagos is saying, no, I have verifiable facts that people are being killed. They are raping in the middle of the night. Where is the truth? Yeah. So if somebody in Imo is saying it's not that bad,
light on this region, Southeast, because it's not just Southeast. You mentioned Niger State.
That's what I was going to say.
Middle Belt. We've seen always in Northeast. And this can be coming to Southwest, too. So the whole country, it's a conversation we need to continue to have. And I'd like us to end on a good note, Mariam. And I think I'll let you some message to Nigerians at this point concerning this issue. Let Mariam wrap up.
Oh, I think I'll just reiterate what I said in the beginning, which is let's put the anger and hate aside. So now, we have a group of unknown gun people, unknown bandits, and unknown. We need to learn to identify them. There was something our speaker just said, where he said in the East, a lot more educated. They're able to take their phones, take videos. And a few of the things we've seen from the East is because we have eyewitnesses that took videos of things like that. So that is what we need to do. These people who kill, they are our enemies. We're not each other's enemies. Those are the enemies. Right. The person that takes up a gun and shoots someone else, someone that comes in and burns down your businesses and burns down your home, that is the enemy. That person is the person that needs to be prosecuted. Let's not kill each other and fight each other. And as you said, it's not a Southeast problem, it's a Nigerian problem.
Right. Bisi, I'll let you have the final word.
So I just think that,
to help you.
hey, Udo Kaicho. And I understand that a lot of people have lost trust in the government, but you cannot fight yourself. A house divided against itself cannot stand. We need to come together to push out these criminal elements wherever they are coming from, wherever they are going to. We need to fish them out. The governors of the Southeast, you have said that some people were arrested and you found that they were not Igbo speaking. What is happening to the prosecution? Why are we not hearing people being prosecuted? Why are you, hiding this in secrecy? The Zamfara State governor at some point has said that he knew the people who were the bandits still today. Nobody has held him accountable. Please. We want peace. We want love. We don't have another nation. This is Nigeria, and this is for all of us. Please.
That's all we can take. As I said, we're just starting this conversation. We shall continue it. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.